Good. So if Biden officially wins, how long until Kamala takes over? Because I want to give it more than a year or two.
I think she already has taken over. I think that was part of the deal to make her vice president because remember, she derided Biden as a terrible racist during the campaign. So he's feeble. They view him as a Trojan horse. They've all climbed into the Trojan horse. I mean, even Angela Davis of the Communist Party and Bob Avakian of the Revolutionary Communist Party, which is to the left of the Communist Party, they all jumped on the Biden bandwagon, and Biden was happy to have them. So this is Kamala Harris's show.
Thankfully, though, the election is not over yet. It is still playing out. And you wrote a very interesting piece that I read recently at American Greatness that really caught my attention, where you make the argument that even Mexico, which unfortunately is a country known for its corruption, has had cleaner elections than the one we currently find ourselves in now. Could you lay out some of your argument for us?
And this is the strange thing. I know Mexican law very well, Mexican immigration law, which is much tougher than ours. The Mexican election laws are really, really strict. Every single citizen over 18 has to have a voter ID with his fingerprint and his signature and his photo, and his address, place of birth, and all sorts of other personally identifiable data on that card. And they must show that card when they vote. And if it differs with their current address or anything else, they're not voting in the election.
That's very interesting to me because, of course, when we try and make those arguments here in the U.S., we're derided as being racist for even suggesting voter ID laws when you go to the polling booth. I also saw you mention how when it comes to vote by mail as well, that's not necessarily smiled upon in Mexico either because of how fraud can easily pervade when it comes to mail-in ballots.
Right. And this is where the Mexican president has been so astute, really. I mean, no one knows more about voter fraud than he does. He was defrauded from the presidency before. He's president now, and you notice he's one of the few leaders of major countries that has not congratulated Joe Biden. He said, "I'm going to wait until the official electoral results are in."
He knows exactly what's up. So when it comes to our southern neighbors, what do you think that we can learn from them?
Well, Mexico is a very different society from ours, where the ultimate security there is the state and the government, whereas in America, it's the rights of the individual that are supreme with the consent of the governed. That's how we're governed. So Mexico has it differently. But Mexico is a very proud country. Mexicans are very, very nationalistic. They don't want any foreign intervention in their internal affairs. And in fact, it's a crime to be a non-Mexican citizen in Mexico and have anything to do with politics. Whereas we have all kinds of foreigners running politics here in the United States. So Mexico is really tough. It's very proud of its heritage and very proud of its citizenship. And their Mexican citizenship means something. They don't have foreigners voting in the elections, and they don't like foreign influence. And they have voter ID for every single election. And if you show up at the polls without your voter ID, you're not going to vote.